Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Universal Studios Hollywood construction update. Today we're obviously back at Universal Studios Hollywood to take a look at everything going on inside of the theme park. One thing I want to mention, I've never seen the park this busy. There are people everywhere. I actually was having a hard time finding parking in Jurassic Parking. I had to park at the very top of Jurassic Parking, all the way on the 6th floor. And during times like this, it's very clear that live entertainment is necessary. Right now we're lacking two major shows in the park that ate up a lot of the crowds. Waterworld is obviously still here, and it's another one of the shows. They still do the Tri-Wizard tournament in the Wizarding World as well. Anyways, we have a lot of Horror Nights talk to talk about today. So we'll start off with the Horror Night updates for today. Today I want to get on the studio tour just to take a look at what's going on. I wrote it earlier yesterday, and there weren't any updates since the last time we made an update, but I believe since the Tram theme was announced to be Exterminatorz, of course, I think they may have begun work already. There's still no official closure date of the plaza while they prepare for Dia de los Muertos being celebrated during Horror Nights over here. Every year they've been doing that since 2021, and it's been a fan favorite. They've had a bar, they had a taco stand, but still no closing date for the Fast X promotion. I think it'll close down in a week or two. Okay, but I just saw the owl move its head, so I want to try to see if we can get a view onto the owl moving. I got it on Instagram, but I can't. Every time I come in the morning or anytime I am filming a video for the channel, it's never moving. It's never moving for you guys. See, its head is in a different position. And I could have sworn I saw it moving earlier, but that might just be me going crazy. But yeah, this facade is beautiful. This facade is beautiful, there's no doubt there. I wonder, oh, it looks like since the last time we were here, they might be testing some, oh yeah, they're definitely testing some lighting at night. I'm seeing some new lighting, but also look behind us. This wasn't here yesterday, or I guess the day before, but they have lighting rigs set up already. So definitely working on it. Looks like it's gonna have a little bit of a bluish theme, and then maybe some strobes. I'm seeing some strobes over there, but these are just general LED lights on the top, so could be anything. My best guess is strobes. They'll probably have like lightning in the audio cue. That's my best guess. Also, the full lineup for Horror Nights was all announced, so we can talk about everything, except they haven't announced any shows. They haven't announced any scare zones. So we'll see. I mean, they're obviously gonna have scare zones. Oh, look at that. They even set up the lighting up there for the queue. I think John Murdy said this will be Evil Dead Rise. It'll be right over here. And that just makes sense. I wasn't really too surprised with that announcement because if you walk through Horror Hotel last year, the scenes were almost identical to Evil Dead Rise. The kitchen scene and the little hallways all looked very similar to the movie. Oh, also the bathroom scene. The bathroom scene was almost identical. But yeah, I'm excited to see how they pull it off. I'm actually kind of scared for this one because I liked Evil Dead Rise, but I didn't like it because it just scared me so much. There's Bride and Frankenstein. Speaking of Bride of Frankenstein, because we just saw her, John Murdy just hinted that we'll be getting a Bride of Frankenstein Horror Nights meet and greet during the Midsummer Scream panel. And Universal actually just sent a press release saying that Lumley Court will actually be used for Horror Nights this year. They're going to be turning it into like a mini bar. They'll have drinks from The Purge, themed to The Purge, which is interesting. And also some photo ops with some scare actors. So my best assumption would be we'll probably have a Chucky photo op, just because it's Chucky, and they even wrote that in the press release. I'm assuming Bride of Frankenstein will be meeting guests over here as well, and maybe even La Llorona, because well, Murdy didn't say that she's gonna be doing photo ops, but he did say that she'll make a return in some way this year. So I'm assuming that's in the form of a meet and greet. We'll keep a close eye on Lumley Court. Speaking of which, that's like the only representation of Carl Laemmle in the theme park, now that I think about it. You can't really walk around anywhere and see Carl Laemmle unless you maybe up there. Maybe up there. I can double check. No. Drama lessons. I thought there would be some form of like actor headshots. I never really noticed these details. That's so cool. Yeah, not too much Carl Laemmle representation. Carl Laemmle is, if you don't know him, he's the Walt Disney of Universal Studios Hollywood. Well, he's the Walt Disney of the entire Universal Studios company. He never really had a theme park in mind, but it turned into a theme park, and he really wanted guests to learn how movies are created. He let people sit in the back lots. They would sell chicken eggs and chicken sandwiches for, I think it was $0.10 at the time. But guests would be able to watch movies be made. They would boo the antagonists in the back lot during the Western era, and then since everything was pretty much silent back then, they were able to get away with a lot of things. And I just noticed this mannequin here has no arm. Was this on purpose? Is this a inclusiveness thing, or did they just forget to put an arm? I bet in a few weeks we'll start seeing some Horror Night shirts and merchandise arrive, probably like next week or in 2 weeks or so. They announced all the mazes, but they didn't drop merchandise with all the mazes. This is all we have. Exorcist Believer, Last of Us, Stranger Things, and Chucky, I suppose. Oh, wait, actually, hold up. There is new merch for Chucky. I did not notice this. Ooh, they brought this one back from last year. They sold this for a very short period of time during Horror Nights last year. Snitches Get Stitches, Child's Play 2. So this is not themed to the maze we're getting. None of the merch for Chucky, I believe, is themed to the maze. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Hold up. That was Jupiter's Clem. Yeah, this is all just generic Chucky merchandise. But probably when we get closer to the event, they'll have more maze-themed Chucky merchandise. Because remember, the Chucky maze we're getting is based on the show on Sci-Fi, not the movie. Usually, scare zones get the short end of the stick when it comes down to Horror Nights. And I'm not really a fan of that. Like, I really hope this year they add more fog machines around. But I don't know. They haven't been using fog very often. I think the only time I see fog utilized during scare zones is probably like to the right of Persian Courtyard. That's usually the only scare zone that has fog. Last year they had a little bit of fog by the fire towers, but they removed them midway through. I don't know why. There's a lot of people leaving Waterworld right now. Wow. But yeah, even if we don't get fog, I would still like to see some decorations for the scare zone. They don't really decorate. After maybe 2018, that was probably the last year we had decorations around the theme park. I mean, they still decorate, but it's just like minor, very minor details and minor decorations. Like, it's nothing substantial. It's nothing like, wow, okay, I'm in a Halloween event. I feel like that would develop so much atmosphere around the park. I mean, if you go to like Not Scary Farm, for example, they immerse their entire theme park into the Halloween spirit. Universal is kind of like Disneyland right now. Disneyland only decorates Main Street for Halloween. That's about it. We don't even get decorations on Main Street. We just have them by the fire towers. That's it. But we do get some spooky lights at night. Looks like they already have those set up. Just to give you an idea of how busy it is getting today at Universal. Take a look at this area. This might be in results of the construction walls being up and not too many shows in the theme park right now. But yeah, there's quite a few people. Studio tour is 50 minutes, so I'm debating if I want to wait till 3 o'clock and wait for my express to kick in or just wait in line. I might actually be able to watch a movie in the theater or something. It's 12 o'clock right now, so I could probably watch Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. I watched Barbie the other day. It's really good. But I could probably watch Oppenheimer since that's a 3-hour movie. It'd probably be like 3 o'clock by the time I get out of the theater. Probably 4, think about it. Oh yeah, look at the wait times. 100 minutes for Mario Kart, Jurassic World. Transformers has been closed for the past 3 days. It would say temporarily closed, but it would never go back up. So maybe it's having a major issue. Not too sure what's going on there. Forbidden Journey, 90. Yeah, these wait times are nuts. Look at Springfield right now as well. A little more busy than usual. There's a lot of bees flying around. A lot of June bugs. I hate those. Like literally, people just tell me people tell me they don't bite. One of my biggest fears are June bugs. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be hit in the face by one of those. Those are like, I know they don't bite, but ugh. It looks like they set up some Hornet lighting up here, which is interesting. They don't normally do that. They would usually have some lighting rigs by the studio tour, but none in the land itself. See, there's the Hornets lighting right there. And they even have some closer to the Tram as well. I'm so excited for this year's Terra Tram. Looks like it might be a good one. Oh, also another thing on Terra Tram. I haven't been a fan of the Terra Tram in recent years. They just like avoid decorating it for some reason. Like the whole world, the War of the World area, they don't really add many like spooky decorations anymore. Even last year, they just had a bunch of picket fences with like cheap Halloween decorations. I mean, I guess that was the theme, but ugh, it was rough. It was rough. Thought I'd stop here and point this out. The extended queue for Forbidden Journey is full. That's insane. So I don't think you can avoid this with Express. I'm not too certain if you can or can't. I don't think so, because this is the line to only get into the locker room. So regardless if you have Express or not, you still have to wait in this line. And I think that's like a good 20 to 30 minute wait. I was just walking around Springfield and I noticed that they have new graphics for the Krusty Burger sign over here. Try to get across real quick. All right. Look at that. They updated the menu just a little bit, or at least the graphics at least. This looks a little different though. It looks like a different font, and then they added the mobile ordering. Everything else is the same. But I thought I'd point that out. Struggle is definitely real. I booked a reservation for Oppenheimer at 3:45, but then I realized I booked it for 3:45, and now I can't cancel the reservation because the Wi-Fi is like super spotty now around the entire park, both reception and Wi-Fi. So I guess I'll watch it at 3:45, but you know it's busy when all of French Street is just full of people. It's literally never like this. I'm looking down at the camera. It doesn't look that bad on the camera, but that's probably because of the wide lens. When I put it in this perspective, yeah, maybe a little busier, right? But one thing I wanted to talk about is early entry for Halloween Horror Nights. So let me go to another spot and talk about this real quick. All right, as we look at the Fast and Furious roller coaster construction, I guess I'll talk a little bit about Horror Nights. So they announced that us pass holders could be in the park until Horror Nights starts. If you have like a daytime ticket as well, you could be in the park until Horror Nights starts. But they do it similar to what Orlando does, I think. So, well, let me give some context. Last year and years prior, if you had a daytime admission ticket, you would naturally get early entry into Horror Nights. You wouldn't need to purchase early entry separately, and that was never really a thing back then. But this year they introduced early entry, and so now we can stay in the park as long as we have a daytime ticket, but we would have to wait until 7 p.m. to go through all the mazes. So we won't be able to have early access into any of the mazes unless we spend that extra like $10 to $25 on early entry. The price varies within each date, so just keep an eye out. It's not that much more expensive, but it really adds up, especially if you come here a lot. Like, I know I'm gonna be dropping a lot of money, probably $40 a weekend on just horror nights, because it's almost $10 a night for early entry in September, and then it'll be a little more expensive in October, but I don't think I'll be here that often in October. But yeah, look at this. All the trees are knocked down. I think that's why there's so many bugs flying around. It's so creepy. So many weird flying bugs. I've never seen these before. It's probably because they're taking down all these trees. So now they're just scattering around, attacking the guests. I'm just joking. They're not really attacking, but they are flying between us, and I don't like that. But yeah, they cut down all these trees here. Construction is moving pretty fast. And look at that fly. That's a giant fly. It's probably the size of my finger. Or my fingernail. That's creepy. I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, here's a look on Fast and Furious. Not much has changed since yesterday, but yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so I just noticed they have a Spanish tour at 1:30, which is in about like 40 minutes here. And that'll be a little bit shorter than the regular wait time, because right now it's 75 minutes. So I don't really have that much time, but we'll try to do that, the Spanish tour. I get to do that only like once a month, and I feel like I learn so many new words every time I get on the Spanish tour. It's so easy to translate because I do the English tour so much, and so I feel like I learn a little bit of Spanish when I go on the Spanish tour. One of the team members was actually really nice enough to let me use my express pass a little early, just because I'm only one today, so it doesn't change much in terms of operation. So thank you so much for that.
The very best guide.
Amanda.
And the greatest driver.
Jessica.
You're the best. I love them. Even though
Amanda.
owes me $5.
Wait, what?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
But seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and trance. We'll let these people get back to their tour. Yeah, that sounds good. As long as I get to drive.
Oh, not if I've got the keys.
Oh, nothing wrong.
Oh, man.
Check out Bel Air Season 2 streaming on Peacock now.
Now, with the South Series that we test, a lot of television has come and gone through those doors.
More than it actually is in real life. It doubled as the entire Amazon River in Creature from the Black Lagoon. In the 1930s, Universal Studios cemented its place in Hollywood history by creating the Frankenstein and Dracula were all filmed in the next part of our Alright everybody, I do want to let you all know that our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark. The entire tour. The studio is private property, so if you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull that cord, and that is Bumblebee. And that taupe kind of old-timey car with the EL3535 license plate on it can be seen in the 1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Alfred Hitchcock. We've got a little bit of construction for Halloween Horror Nights happening right in front of our motel. That is getting started in about a month, which is really exciting. Now, Psycho has a reputation for being one of the most terrifying movies in all of Hollywood history, but did you know it was actually the first movie to feature a shot of a flushing toilet? It was actually a really big deal to not see any toilets in film back in that time, but there's a scene where Marion Crane rips up that piece of paper, she throws it down the toilet, you see that bird's eye? Oh my goodness, okay, forget me rambling, we've got a star right here, it's Norman Bates, oh my gosh. Hi, Norman Hazard, wait, I can't defend you anymore. Absolutely not, please, no. Absolutely not, Norman, you're done, I can't. I really keep putting you in danger on this tour, and for that I am so sorry, everybody. Now, there isn't much that's more terrifying than Norman Bates and Psycho, but this pretty much is a real torn up Boeing 747 that has crash landed in the middle of this tiny New Jersey neighborhood.
The airplane crashed.
I will not be there to see it. Now, Universal has had the opportunity to work with generation-defining directors like Alfred Hitchcock and Steven Spielberg. Another one of these directors is Academy Award. We are about to go through Jupiter's Claim together, which are the actual sets used in his most recent sci-fi thriller, Nope. And here to tell us a little bit more about it is the man himself, Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take
Here, if you're not a pass holder and you'd like to be, head over to the Universal box office or any of our upgrade kiosks to see how you can turn today's ticket into a pass. Make sure you downloaded the Universal.
And that was all the updates on the studio tour itself for the Terror Tram. Honestly, we'll see how it turns out. It looks kind of the same as always, but they do have a larger area towards the finale of their Terror Tram, and I wonder if they're going to be utilizing Jupiter's Claim. So we'll see. And with that being said, that'll wrap up everything for today's update here at Universal. I'm JP, and I'll see you guys in the next one.